My mom doesn't recycle. I asked her why. She's like, Habibti, America destroyed my country. So I will not help save theirs. I was like, that's environmental terrorism. If you ever see litter on the freeway, just know. It was my Iraqi mom. Just like, oh, bombs over Baghdad? Okay. How about straws over Seattle? How about that one? Like, how about cans over Colorado? I was like,
that's funny.
I cannot believe. Just another terrorist joke. Well, I've gone viral in Baghdad, and now I have all of the fobs. Like, what is this whore? She, America and Iraq, the occupier. I'm like, relax, dude. Like, someone commented, he's like, oh, you're obviously one of Saddam's spies. I'm like, really, bitch? Like, you think this was... They're like, we will make her a comedian in America. Get the fuck out of here, man. Oh, really smart. Yeah.
We will let you live in America, but
you will be a clown.
Scary.
They will not know you are Arab.
But also maybe Mexican. We don't know. I wanted to be an actress, but that was the first thing when they're like, Habibti, actress is that's for whores. I'm like,
man, Iraqis are honest.
My uncle once, or he asked me, he's like, you know, you live in America, the land of opportunity. What's your dream? I was like, to be an actress. He said, change your dream. That's a true thing that happened. He's like, no, it's not. I was like, no, it is. He's like, no, it's not. I was like, it's not.
Saddam called it off.
Yeah, this is not.
She will not be the clown.
Yeah. Terrible incel. Or sorry, sleeper cell. So I said incel. It's like 5 years in LA. I was working in marketing at like Disney and Paramount and STX.
Yeah.
And so then they were like on board because people knew those brands. Like my uncles were like, oh, Reem works at Disney. Okay.
Nice.
But then I got miserable. I was like, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. I was working, I was attending red carpets, which was cool for like, you know, the first couple of years. You're like, oh, I'm at the Avengers premiere. This is amazing. I'm living my dream. Until I got to a point where I was like, man, I'm just the help.
You go back to the office.
Yeah. Well, no, I was standing on like a red carpet and I was like, wow, like they're actually living my dream. Yeah. I'm just too afraid to admit it. After doing a bunch of meditation classes, realized I wanted to do stand up. Okay. So now I started doing stand up. So I snuck under the radar because it was just a hobby. But then it got to a point where like, it wasn't, I was like, I want to do this. And they're like, no. And they had the sibling talk, like, talk to your sister. Like, tell her not to do it.
Sibling intervention.
Sibling intervention. What are you doing? Like, you're the straight A kid. Like, you got into Harvard. What are you doing?
Right.
You're just going to throw it all away. And I was like,
You got into Harvard?
I did. I got waitlisted. And so I got in, but like, did I get in? It's like my first year of doing stand up. I like got flown out to London. Like, I hit it off big immediately. Getting booked to perform in the Middle East, getting booked to go to Palestine, getting booked. It was always like, okay, never good enough. And then TikTok came into the picture. Now I started putting my dad in my videos. I was like, just be in it real quick. And then once he started blowing up and getting like recognized and stuff, then all of a sudden he was like,
no, it's cool.
I'm Reem Edan. And I was like, oh shit, because you weren't last year. What's up? Long story short, the coupon code is
This is what I'll do.
Thanks. There it is. Yeah. Oh, wow. You got more merch. I have an hour because lahma gives me power.
Why would you throw these away? You have another birthday coming up next year. Oh, this is my bag of bags. You never know when you're going to need one. For lunch, trash, transporting food internationally. Excuse me, why was this in the trash? You can fill it up and use it again.
Good to be here. My name is Reem Edan, not to be confused with Ramadan.
I've always hated every haircut I've ever gotten.
Yeah, me too.
Huh? That's what I did, but it looks like, you know, the in-between stages. And then I grew it out, and then I got like this audition for like this guy, and it says short hair. And I was like, I was going to cut my hair. Let me just cut it now.
Did you get the part?
I sent it to the audition in today, so
nice.
I'll update you guys.
Inshallah.
I think you do look better with longer hair. I mean, you look good.
But Hollywood though, like, you know.
What's wrong with long hair? I
just feel like, right, like if I get a lot of Middle Eastern opportunities, right, and like they see a Middle Eastern person as a specific way, like they're not used to long-haired Middle Eastern people, to be honest.
That's why we're here, to change that narrative.
No, well,
what about Jesus?
You got to get in the door first.
We are getting the door. We're actually building our new door. So
facts. What about Jesus? He had long hair.
He had long hair.
Middle Eastern.
They just want you to look violent, and apparently we all do. So
I look too friendly.
Look past it.
So here's the thing about Jesus.
Allahu Akbar.
Could you wear a turban? Like what? No.
Yeah.
So
hijab.
Yeah.
Like
No, historically accurate Jesus. If you see the photo, he doesn't have long hair.
What do
and
you mean
he's brown.
the photo? Who had a photo?
Like
of
a,
him?
like a
the photo. The photo.
when you Google it and they have like a render.
I'm glad
they have-
she's here.
You haven't seen the photo?
They have a render.
Tita, she had a photo up. No, she didn't.
He's like, every hit in the world was Arabic music.
I'm gonna look it up.
Remember that?
No, but that's
I mean-
Jesus does not look like that.
He's not like an Abercrombie model. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, for sure not.
He's
He's an
brown.
Arab Crombie
Yeah.
model.
Oh.
I mean, he probably doesn't look too different than the homies. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he probably looks like you, bro.
I
Like,
think you probably look like Jesus.
yo, take your glasses off. Okay.
Just like a really cool rock star.
I mean, you're
version
from
of
where
Jesus.
you're
Yeah,
from where
she's
he's from.
superstar.
Yeah, I tell people when they're like, "You look like Jesus," I'm like, "Well, you know, Jesus was Palestinian, so it's probably not too far."
The
This
what-
is
Yep.
What do they respond after that?
depending on their political views, the expressions will vary.
Oh, well, that's complicated.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, he was born in
I
Nazareth.
said he's not conventionally attractive. He's not like that good looking. He's not the guy that you see on the glass, the stained glass windows.
not
and stuff.
conventionally
What is
attractive.
really?
He looks like a Homo erectus or some shit.
A homo what?
Like one of the Neanderthal.
Interesting. How do they know that?
I don't think that's him, to be
just-
honest.
Do they have?
That's not my homie Jesus. I don't know.
White Jesus.
What's up, guys? We're here at the Habibi House podcast, and we have a very, very special guest in the building today.
Very, 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 very,
Go.
very, very, very special guest.
Oh,
Because she is our first female comedian and only our second female so far on the show. So,
Yes.
no, that was half-assed. Hold on.
there you go. There you go. The Zagruta.
Yeah. We call it helheling. Wait,
okay,
that's
in
it. That's
Iraqi?
Araglish. Helheling.
Helheling.
Araglish, Arabizi.
Arabizi, yeah.
So in Iraq you call it halhaling.
Yeah, telhel.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Reem Edan is our guest's name, and you're Iraqi, right?
I am, 100%.
First
Amazing.
Iraqi.
Shakumaku.
Oh my God,
Iraqi.
we're just breaking barriers
Yeah,
here,
just
guys.
all
over.
Shalom
Right?
alaikum, shalomkum, shahwalkum,
Alhamdulillah.
Shalonich.
shalonich, ani wallah zana.
Oh, I love the Iraqi dialect, to be honest. I grew up around a lot of Iraqis.
You did, where'd you grow up?
Dearborn, Michigan.
Nice, nice.
A lot of Iraqis, Yemenis, and Lebanese people.
Oh, that's wild. Yeah, I've been to Dearborn a bunch.
A lot of Palestinians.
You guys
there
have
too,
the
right?
best
Palestinians.
rice. The best rice.
Really? I think Palestinian and Lebanese food is the best food.
But our rice is like so bland.
Really? I feel like Lebanese rice
I mean, it's
is
good.
so soft.
Yeah. It's good, but I like the spiciness of the Iraqi.
You guys make it spicy, the rice?
I don't know if we make it spicy.
Well, it's like got more spices in there.
more
It's like
like
yellow.
yellow
Isn't
rice?
Don't you guys have the
we have
yellow
like
rice?
timen. First, we call rice timen.
Okay.
And then marga. Do you guys have marga? Do you call it that?
Marga, like margat al-jaj?
Yeah, it's like marga, the sauce you put over it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think it's like spicy like mendi or biryani or anything. I feel like that's the Gulf.
Yeah, probably.
I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
know. The Iraqis I know.
I don't think
they
kebab is
used to-
good though. It's like it's
Oh,
so
that's
oily.
true.
It
That's
like
true.
falls apart, but it's good.
Yeah, you guys are known for the kebab.
Yeah. We're all known for the kebab, let's be real.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
everybody
true.
wants the kebab.
Even at Persian restaurants, I'm like, oh, kebab. Okay.
Right,
We all
yeah.
have the same
Kebab,
thing.
kebab.
Yeah.
They have a funny accent.
It's funny how they spell it sometimes, kebab.
Or
Kebab.
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 With
Yeah,
the
yeah.
P.
Yeah. You guys see that Key and Peele skit? He's like, you eat the chavapi. Over here we have the kebapi.
Yeah,
Them sons
yeah.
of mother.
Yeah.
And the Macedonian versus like the whatever.
So, how's the comedy scene going these days?
Oh, it's good. It's good. I feel like I was just talking with someone about this because I've been doing comedy since 2016. So when people ask me like how long I've been doing comedy, it's hard to answer that because I could either count all the years, but we took a couple years off for COVID. So like 2020, I don't think I really performed. And then 2021, it was kind of like on and off because sometimes I'd have to wear a mask or sometimes people would have to wear a mask if they came to my shows or like separate. So it was like, eh. But now everything, like COVID's over, everything is back to normal. It's good. It's fun. I love it.
You travel a lot with it?
I do. I've performed in 9 countries, including Palestine.
Wow.
And
When was that?
that was in 2018, I want to say. Maybe 29. I think it was 2018.
How was it?
It was great. Oh, my God. That was my favorite place to perform, like by far. By far.
In 2018, you were in Palestine?
I think so. Yeah, I think it was 2018. Yeah, I went to I think to Ramallah, Bethlehem, and Jerusalem.
Nice. So that was a whole tour you did?
The whole tour, yeah. It was like the 1001 Laughs, I think.
Okay. This was BC, right?
BC, yeah.
Before COVID?
Before COVID.
I thought you were going to say before Khara. I was like, yeah, it was before,
That too.
before the Khara hit the fan.
I'll throw these back on.
No, I've done a bunch of places. I think my favorite
bright.
places were Palestine, Dubai. I do every year that they have me, so I've been there 3 times. And then I've even done like Japan, which is cool. That was part of the reason I started doing comedy.
Japan.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I just wanted to travel, dude. I used to
Yeah.
have a corporate job and just, I worked at a movie studio, but the last one that I worked at was this place called STX, and it was like in a tower in Burbank. And I remember just like sitting in the tower, staring out the window, and I could see Universal Studios, and I was like, man, I'm like fucking wasting my life. Just like in this literal steel tower. And I want to just like go outside and like travel for work and things like that. So once I started doing comedy, I was like, oh, this is the way I can do it.
Yeah.
And that kind of, I mean, there's other reasons too.
You were living where at the time, you said, sorry?
LA. I've been in LA
You've
for
been
10
in
years.
LA.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I moved out. I'm originally from Colorado. Both my parents are Iraqi, but I was born in Colorado. So are my other siblings. And I moved out here.
Like Halat, our friend Halat.
Our friend is
He's Kurdish.
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 but
From
he's
Colorado?
From Colorado.
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy because you were like, oh yeah, I grew up around a lot of Iraqis and stuff. And I was like, I grew up around white people. That's it. Like,
Oh,
that's,
really?
Yeah. There was no, I mean, there were a few families, but I only think we knew one Iraqi family, to be honest.
How did you guys end up in Colorado?
My dad was a student there.
Oh,
he had a
okay.
scholarship. And so he ended up teaching there. Yeah.
Got it. Our friend Halat is like the most Kurdish looking man there is.
Really?
It's funny because he's a barber, but he like looks like he's never had a haircut in his
That's
life.
funny.
He's a barber and his name is Halat.
Yeah.
What's
Like,
halal?
halal.
Oh, like halal.
Halal.
Oh, that's
Halal.
hilarious.
It's crazy.
and he cuts for like big time people. Like he cut Chris Brown and like
Oh, that's
he's a
badass.
celeb barber like basketball. Yeah, but it's funny. One time we were at Chris's house. Liana was there. The thing you were talking about, and he was like, "This guy's never had cereal.
Oh, never had a pancake.
Never had a pancake.
Why?
He was raised in his community only eating kebabs.
His mom just his mom just made him Arabic. He's like, I have a pita with lebanon and like cucumbers and tomatoes. Like that's
pretty
our
cool.
breakfast. You know?
That's pretty cool.
And he's like, I think he's held off because he wants to save it to like an experience. But one time we were in
Like his virginity or
I
something?
guess.
you know, my cereal. I'm losing my C card.
Yeah.
Only when I get married, then I will begin to have cereal. Maybe Frosted Flakes. I'm not sure. I don't know why. Does he have an accent? Because in my mind, he has an
Yeah,
accent.
Yeah,
Okay.
in your mind for sure.
Maybe Fruit Loops, but it's okay with me.
Habibi, that's a little bit too.
But
Too fruity.
Cocoa Puffs haram. We don't do Cocoa Puffs.
haram. Oh no, Lucky Charms haram.
Yeah, Lucky Charms because they have marshmallows.
Yeah, what a sad day. I was a fat kid and I loved marshmallows.
No, you weren't.
I was, yeah. I was really fat. And I remember the day that the community was like, gelatin.
Oh,
Gelatin comes
yes.
from pig. And I was like,
The one fateful day.
yo, my heart was
Skittles.
broken. Yeah. They're like, no more
Everything.
Skittles, no more marshmallows, no more s'more. I remember being at like a neighborhood camp thing where we were
Yeah.
roasting s'mores.
Uh-huh.
And like, I still was like, no, I don't believe it.
Like
and then,
drop the s'more. Right
yeah,
then.
they made me.
You
My mom was
cooked
like, drop it.
No.
Wallah, she's like, drop it. I was like, no.
You cook the pig out of it, you know, when you turn
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Just like with alcohol when you burn it on the
I've never heard
Oh,
of that.
yeah.
wine.
What was it?
I
If
don't
you have,
believe in
like-
that either.
Apparently, it's
If you-
true.
if
If
you,
you
like,
like have like
you flame
penne
it.
vodka or
Pasta
something.
with
yeah.
wine.
I love vodka.
Yeah.
They get like the wine.
There's certain things
Yeah.
that I do the arithmetic on. I'm like, okay, so why can't you have penne alla vodka? Well, because it's like has alcohol. Alcohol's haram, fine. But like if the alcohol is getting cooked off
Yeah.
and you're not gonna get
Yeah.
intoxicated,
Yeah.
Then
No,
I-
it's supposed to be normal if it's burnt because that's the whole point is to not get drunk.
Have
Yeah.
you ever had
Right.
the halal marshmallows?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
And
the same,
yeah,
man.
they're like green and like they have different colors
yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
You know
They're not the same.
the asterisk or like the contingency that like the way that people could weasel out with the gelatin stuff is that he says بالقرآن لحم حرم عليكم لحم الخنزير.
Yeah.
So, not the
he's
fat.
very specific lahm. So I don't know. Some
meat?
people. My uncle one time brought that up. He was like, "Well, it's lahm is lahm because God doesn't say things in the Quran except
Hey,
with
therefore,
precision.
Yeah.
eat these Skittles.
Yeah.
You're good.
So you don't know. Maybe the fat isn't. You know who knows. But don't take this as a fatwa. I do not represent Islam. by
That's
any
funny.
means.
I recently was traveling.
I
and-
represent Islam, but just not.
Oh, you represent him?
Authoritarian.
I represent, don't represent.
Yeah.
I was recently
Distance.
Not a mufti. Go ahead.
I was traveling, and then there was this like big dinner, and it was everybody else. They weren't Muslim, but they were like they ordered pork, and they forgot to order me something to eat that didn't have pork in it. And I was like, that's fine. So, and I think it was New Year's Eve. So all of the restaurants had shut down and stuff. So I ended up just going to the gas station and like getting a cup of noodles. I was like, totally fine. And then turns out, I was trying to tell people, I was like, man, khanzir is bad for you. Like it's, they were like, why is that? I was like, well, you know, it's like it's not a cleanly animal. And also like scientifically, there's a higher chance of like foodborne illnesses, et cetera, et cetera.
The worms
And
when
then,
you leave it out.
Yeah. And then people got food poisoning that
No
night.
way.
And I was like, a'udhu billahi min shaitanir rajim. Like, I was like, what did I tell you, man?
Let's say, repeat after me.
Yeah.
Yashhadu.
Yeah. I was like, ramen noodles, ramen.
So they call it as sibta bilan. Like
What is it?
Like you the evil eye, you put it like right in the evil
Oh,
eye.
something you cast the evil eye on them.
Like you say it.
Like you
I did
jinx-
the evil
it's
eye?
the Arab version of
Hazrat
You
the-
blaming this on me, man?
It's jinxing.
She
it.
tried
Oh,
warning them.
dang.
Yeah, it's the warning.
The British are coming. Oh, you didn't listen.
That's true.
I said, you want to introduce our new partnership that we have? I'm going to turn the mics down a little bit because everyone's coming in a little hot.
Oh.
While you do that.
Okay.
This get out.
Just do it, man. Just do it. This guy's out of here. He's not even here, bro. I haven't heard him say one word.
I just did.
Tell me that I was exiting people.
Yeah. How dare you?
But anyway, we do have a special announcement. We are now collaborating with Pali Roots, probably the premier Palestinian merchandise brand. So
Nice.
yeah, big stuff.
Are you wearing some right now?
I'm actually wearing something that's not even out yet. It's the
Ooh.
Eliana
Exclusive.
Eliana Pali Roots collab.
Yo, shout out to Eliana.
That's sick.
Yeah,
She's really talented.
she's
really
killing
is.
it. We got the inside scoop.
And this Eliana is very talented as well.
This one. Every time we say Eliana now, I think of you.
Yeah, she's really talented. She's about to go on tour. She's dropping an album. Masari is dropping an album too.
Hey,
That's
Masari.
So yeah, he's supposed to be on our show soon too. So
That's awesome.
Inshallah.
Man, Arabs are having to come up. I feel like
Yeah.
the last like couple of years,
For sure.
like Arab artists and stuff like that, even like you guys having your podcast, I feel like we're starting to get not even more normalized, but I will say that's part of it. It's
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
now people even are wearing like Arabi jewelry or like
Yeah.
learning about our stories
Let's
or like,
go.
yeah, exactly. or
Well,
like learning about what's actually
yeah.
happening in the world.
Well, here's
Yeah,
the thing. I mean,
100%.
we kind of mentioned this at a previous episode, but like they've always taken our stuff, right?
No,
But
100%.
but now it's like cool to be
Yeah.
Arab.
Yeah.
You know, or it's cool for an Arab to rock Arab stuff,
Right.
Yeah.
instead of like using it in rap,
Yeah.
songs
Yeah.
and stuff. So.
You know,
No,
this is-
even in the EDM scene, there are like so many more remixes of Arabi songs, like Allah Allah Ya Baba and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard it in so many like
Allah,
festival sets and
Allah.
stuff. Yeah.
That's true. There's like DJs now too that are specializing,
Yeah.
and there's that one girl DJ that does like sets with like Arabi music intertwined. I'm not sure if you know her.
Julia Sandstrom.
I think so.
Oh, she's my friend.
Is she?
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
awesome.
What did you say?
Like-
The Roots.
and then we
Sandstorm?
have the other.
Her name is Julia Sandstrom. She's like a
Sandstorm?
Swedish chick with like.
No,
Oh, is she
yeah.
Swedish?
Well, I went to one of her shows and she played Allah Allah Ya Baba.
Okay,
Maybe
okay.
it was
That's
another one
fire.
too.
I might be thinking of an actual. She's Palestinian, but I'm gonna look into
Oh
Julia.
yeah,
too.
I'll send you her stuff. But I think it's important because I think like
Wanna mention
yes,
Habibi?
DJ Habib Beats.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
he's-
he has a show soon. I'm gonna try to go.
yeah,
to.
guys.
He
we
literally-
should all go to the show.
I'm so down.
His name is Habibi's house.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, so it's
You
like
guys should do a collab.
I know. Yeah.
I know we
We're in the
met him
talks.
and we like I think he had the sweater on and he was like and he's like no way and he's
I'm
like
like-
because we started it like around the same time as he did his thing and we were
Well, we
like
started it, and then we heard about his stuff really soon after. We're like, what?
yeah we're
That's
gonna
funny.
bring him on
Inshallah.
Yeah,
But I was gonna say real quick. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I think I do agree. I think there's some validity to your point. That's like, oh, they're copying us, right? But at the same time, it could be appropriation. But at the same time, I think it's important for people to start accepting little tidbits of culture, even emulating it, because it brings, in my opinion, it lessens the stereotype, or like
Yeah.
it makes it more accessible, our culture and like people, and humanizes us more, even if it is just like a joke in stand-up or like someone getting an Arabi tattoo or something. Like I agree, don't steal it, and at the same time still judge us and
Right.
still
Right.
That's
otherize
that was
us.
my point.
Yeah.
is that,
That's when it
like,
becomes
yeah.
problematic. But
Yeah.
if it's just like not done in with bad malice,
Yeah,
then
I
it's-
think
then
about
it's
that
good.
sometimes, even with like Japanese culture. Some people will be like, "Oh, they're appropriating and stuff."
Yeah.
But at what point is it appropriating, and at what point is it
Appreciation.
incorporating things into like our global fabric and
Yeah.
appreciating it more? You know?
Yeah. I think it's all about the intention. Like
Yeah.
when he says they, I personally think of like people that steal it and then claim it as their own, specifically as it relates to like Palestinian culture.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
if
like with
it's,
kafia and stuff.
I mean, they have this one lady that keeps popping up on my Instagram that like she took the kufiya and put Stars of David
Oh yeah,
on
I
it.
saw that.
Yeah, and then like she did something else with some other appropriate. So like that obviously is not cool because you're hijacking our symbolism.
Yeah, that's a symbol for real. Yeah, that's different.
But just incorporating it, like someone getting an Arabic tattoo or someone making a joke about us, like that stuff is cool because it's not meant to be. It's not like it doesn't have a bad intention.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it's cultural appreciation.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
But I mean, more acceptance. I think just being more accepted, having like knowing somebody who's Arab, like most people grew up in America, like just watching on TV, like not knowing any Arabs, and then I was like, oh well, this person's cool, and I like their music,
right?
And they just happen to be Arab, or I like their comedy, and they just happen to be Arab, and it's like, oh, I guess I am a fan of this Arab, and our culture is cool, so people like
Well, I perform a lot in like bumfuck America, like random.
What state is that?
Places. Like random places in like Wisconsin. I know I'm going to
Where
Arkansas
do they do
at the end of the month or next month.
Arkansas.
Arkansas, that's funny. Yeah, no, I'm going back to Arkansas. I do a bunch of shows in Wisconsin, Indiana, places that are like red states. And a lot of times I'm like the first Arab they've ever seen in real life.
They can't read.
Like politically.
But people probably think you're white.
Well, yeah, I've had that benefit. I look whiter than, like, for example, my brother. I've talked about this sometimes. I'm like, he gets so much more racism than I do because I'm just like, I'll slide by, no hablo inglés.
Totally Latino for sure.
But I think it's interesting that to see people who've never seen an Arab in real life ever, and then let alone to see a Muslim, never met a Muslim in their life, let alone to see like a woman up there telling jokes about things.
Right.
So like
big time.
I think it's just interesting because it's like, how do you expose people to a concept that they're not willing normally to accept, or like to a conversation they're not willing to have? Because like even right now in like today's like political climate, like people are like talking about things on social media, and like it's creating this like huge divide because not friends are turning on friends, and they're like, you're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit. Everyone's mad at each other. Where I think like with comedy at a show, like within the confines of these four walls, in this. I was doing a show with Imam Ahmed recently, and he was talking about how.
Oh, Amr?
Mm-hmm, nice. Yeah. I opened for him in Texas, and he was talking about how like comedy, the stage, is like the last safe place in the world because like everyone is watching you, everyone is waiting.
Well, sorry. Not for Dave Chappelle, and not for there was one other guy that got attacked on stage. I forget.
Oh yeah, I was at that show. Okay, but I'll tell you about that. But so he's talking about how like comedy is like the last safe space where you can actually talk about things, and I totally agree with that because like people are just ready to weaponize anything you say for whatever agenda they have, no matter how good your intentions are, and then having that lead to people not working with whatever
taking
it
action.
Is. Yeah. So, but I think with like a comedy show, and like for example with these people who were. Maybe I'm on a lineup where they didn't even know I was going to be there, and now here I am talking about things in such a casual, nonchalant way that everybody's guards are down. Yeah. They're like laughing about things, and you're subtly able to like insert messages there about like what's happening. And I feel like that's the way to actually change people's minds. It's not to yell at people and be like, look how bad you are. Yeah. How do you not care?
Right.
Listen,
you
everybody
entertain them, but also like teach them on
absolutely.
The side.
Everyone has a place. Everyone has a position to play and change. Yeah. And I think like it's important to start planting these seeds in a way that is not easily shot down, so that like ears are open, hearts are open, and then they're like, they don't even realize they're learning something, even how to accept more, how to maybe look at the other side, how to stop demonizing people so you can understand that they're humans too.
It's like, why do I hate these people? Why do I hate Arabs?
And we all do it, by the way.
And
like
then,
we're not innocent of this. There's so many
true.
people that I'm like, oh, you're blah, blah, blah. Oh, cool. And I think like that's part of the problem, but also we're part of the solution. Even having podcast, anything that you can do, in my opinion, that's not like yelling at someone to change. Again, there are people who do that, and I think that they're necessary too because information it transfers in different ways.
Absolutely.
But I think that an emotional, like calm, sometimes funny message is better to introduce like Bill in Podunk, Wisconsin, to the idea that like not all Arabs or Muslims or whatever are out here to attack.
Yeah. He's like, no, Arabs are cool. I just saw this funny Arab female comedian.
Yeah.
Hey, but she's one of the good ones, though.
What?
No, because like that was a thing in Hollywood for a long time. Is like terrorist roles, and then there's one guy that's not the terrorist.
Yeah.
And then he's like, he helps us defeat the terrorists. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, well, most of them are the good ones, and then there's like a small faction of the bad ones.
That's
So-
something that you have to, at least something I try to address too, is I'm not trying to be the exception. And I feel like, so my identity, even through in LA and in Hollywood and in my art, has shifted because in the beginning, and growing up in Colorado, where I was one of very few I don't know where your friend was living, but not in Fort Collins, Colorado. Like so a lot of my Boulder, okay, nice. A lot of my identity comes from being otherized, and that was fine. I wasn't like crying about it. I just knew I'm always different, no matter what. My name is different, my parents are different, our accent's different, everything about me is different.
Yeah.
Totally cool. I've accepted that as a part of my identity.
Yeah.
I literally forgot what the fuck I was talking about.
No, you're saying like inserting ourselves.
So I used to be used to this idea, especially when I first moved to LA, that like, oh, you're so cool and you're Arab dope. Well, you're one of the good ones. Well, like you're one of the non-crazy ones.
Right.
Like, and it wasn't like someone told me that verbatim, but I could, like thinking about it, I'm like, yo, you're treating me like I'm the exception.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm more Western looking or Western speaking or acting. That like, oh, good, well, at least you're not crazy like those like traditional Muslims and stuff.
Yeah,
like, you don't know how religious I am just because I present this way.
Right.
So that's something I've tried to work with in my comedy even now, is figuring out ways to laugh about things without laughing at things, without letting people like ridicule stuff, which
Not
has been
going
like
for the cheap humor.
So that's just been interesting because I think it's important that we're like not just like accepted, but like flourishing
Embraced.
and thriving and embraced for being
Appreciate
whatever it is we are.
Because we are super cool, you know?
Just real quick, we did kind of go off, but I just needed to mention the coupon code too. Yeah.
We're going to. But real quick, before
I
we
was
get
literally saying, you're like, shout out
Sorry.
Ileana, and then it went from there. So
right before the
That was so funny, wasn't it?
One more thing.
I gotta mention the coupon
Man, I love
code.
you. You're just like quiet until you're like, by the way.
Right. As far as one more thing, I'm going to bring it back to Pally Roots because I've been rocking with Pally Roots for a long time. As far as like the inserting ourselves, I feel like that's such an important way, and I've been seeing the effect of it more and more recently. Because like just being in a room, like we got invited to a dinner, me and the boys, and Halat actually also, and that's the reason I brought him up. I was going to tell the cereal stuff. Basically, we were at this event where we didn't know what it was. We just got invited to a dinner, and
We're really teasing this coupon code.
code is Habibi House.
I know, right?
Get your stuff.
Anyways, we went to the dinner. What?
So the dinner was like really interesting because we didn't know what we were signing up for. Like we just walked in.
Oh, it was like an intervention for like Palestine and Israel, and
in a sense,
it's like a spiritual intervention. And we had no idea what was happening.
Wait, so there was like people from both sides?
We were
So
the people. We were the Arabs.
So watch this. Let me tell a story.
Go.
So we basically.
Tell it faster.
I meet this person, and he invites us to a dinner. I met him at a Healing for Palestine event where it was earlier during the conflict. It was organized by Alina at Between East. Yeah. So and they were doing this visualization, like this free Palestine. What would a free Palestine look, feel, smell, sound like? A visualization, right? Meditative visualization. So. Anyhow, at the end of it, everyone was saying their piece. I said something, and what I said was to the tone of like, I usually, one of my sources of strength and power is visualizing like a free Palestine and being there and like standing like in Gaza, looking out at the ocean, like at my balcony at home that I'll finally like reclaim my grandfather's like home. And usually it's always so visceral for me and strong, and like I feel it, and it helps me like orient and motivate myself. But when things started happening, like recently, especially towards the beginning, it was like, and that night specifically, it was so hard for me to, I just couldn't visualize it that day for that night for whatever reason. It felt like there was just a block. Obviously, everything is happening. Like we're getting freaking nuked, essentially, almost. And so I said that. I said like, I just, for whatever reason, I can't see that vision right now as clearly as I usually do. So the guy that was that invited me to the dinner came up to me after, and he's like, "I really like what you said. We should like connect." I'm like, "All right, cool." Turns out he invites me to this dinner, right? And his name is Chris. He's with My Intent, and like this.
I know that company.
You know that company, right?
Yeah, I have some.
Do you? Everyone knows this guy's products and stuff. It's crazy.
I think I found him. He was at like this meditation event.
Sounds about right.
Sounds like it was 8 years ago or something. The one I have says the F word on it. I think I was like, can I make my own? And then I was being silly.
F what?
You can design
Just
your
the F
own.
word?
Just fuck. I think
Yeah, you can design your own words.
Yeah.
But the one I have says breathe. I have it on my hand too.
Oh, that's cool.
Apparently he's outfitted
I have
Beyonce.
create. That's what I have. I have
Create.
like I am creating or create, and then I did an additional one because they
Okay.
said I could, and
Yeah,
I was like,
just
I
for
like
fun.
the word. It's a good word. It's an adjective and a verb.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Basically, Chris, he's outfitted Beyonce, Jay-Z,
Oh, wow.
Justin Bieber, Rihanna, all have this. So anyhow, he invites me to dinner. He's like, come to dinner. We're going to hang out. I'm like, okay. And then the boys hit me up. They're like, can we come too? I'm like, bro, I don't know what this is. Like, I'm just invited to someone's house. And they're like, just check if we can tag along. And so we end up bringing them, and he rolls up with me and Hala, and we all go. And as soon as I get there, I'm like starting to shake hands one by one, meeting the people there. It was a really nice house. And like the first person I talked to, okay, eventually, where are you from? Oh, I'm Jewish. Okay, cool. Next person, hello, hi, I'm Jewish. Okay, interesting. Anyhow, so before long, I was like, I get what this is. Like, he's bringing people from different sides. Because I know that he does, like, his company's called VOMO, Voice for, I don't know the acronym, but it's like
Bro, how
singing.
long is this story, bro?
Are you
So
in
the
a rush
coupon code
to-
is Pally Roots.
The coupon code is Habibi House.
Habibi House.
Bro, you just told the story for like 10 minutes,
I like
bro.
the story.
Are you in a
Relax.
rush or something? We have to go somewhere?
No, okay, you like the story? Go ahead. I'm not saying
Please.
anything.
No, end the story. So back to my career. No, please. I'm enjoying
So
it.
I'm bringing it to Halat.
Oh, okay.
And then we're bringing it to Pally.
Got it.
So, and also normalization of inserting ourselves in environments where just our presence is enough to have us become accepted. And like these micro interactions over time will create like more acceptance and like, I guess that's one of the benefits of globalization, right? There's like watering down of culture that can happen, but it's also spreading of culture. So-
You also might have been the first Palestinian they've ever met.
But that's what I'm saying. Remember, we were in that. You were there too, bro. I want you to tell
what
your
happened?
perspective of that story. So then now I'm like, okay, I get what this is. He's doing like a healing type thing. He's bringing people from different sides. But the funny thing is, if I didn't show up, and there was one more girl, Lena, she was there. That was Iraqi also, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and besides that, it was just me and the boys. So they eventually rolled through, and basically we are Palestine, and everyone else is like the Jewish Israeli side. And so now we're in this thing where we're doing a dinner, and it's like this whole like kumbaya, peace, spiritual meditation type event. And I just thought it was funny because we got caught off guard. But at some point, Halat was talking about how everyone went around and said a word about themselves, and Halat was talking about how himself, and he's like, yeah, I've never had cereal, never had pancakes, I've never had
This
waffles.
is the time and place he brought it up.
Right.
Everyone's like, man, he's
Literally.
like, what are Rice Krispies like? I just want to know.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's funny because like
You can't have gelatin.
Yeah, exactly.
people are like asking him like why have you not? And he's like, well, the way I grew up, I just like with the way our traditions and the way our family. And I'm like, bro, you grew up in Colorado.
That's,
And like his face.
it was hard. No,
Yeah,
it wasn't.
right. Again, if you see what he looks like, he's like literally bearded up. So when
wants
he's
to say
saying
that
like where I
again.
grew up and like all these like white
My
girls
family,
are
and they never
there.
let me have cereal.
Yeah, he's
Where
like,
you
you know,
from?
that's
Probably all they remembered too. They just
Yeah.
took away. They're
Right.
like, they were so normal. One of them.
I can't trust.
Yeah,
I can't trust him. I can't trust him. Guys never had no like rice.
How was
Krispies.
that experience for you guys? Because it was really interesting being in that room, wasn't it? Didn't you guys feel like we connected and they were just seeing us? A lot of them didn't even see a Palestinian before. One of them said that.
Yeah, I had
Wow.
no idea what we were walking into, and I was just there for the free dinner. Like I don't know what was happening, but like you understand everyone's point of view, and you're forced to hear like what they are going through. You know, like the Israeli is forced to hear what the Palestinian is going through and feeling, and the Palestinian is forced to hear what the Israeli is going through and be like, oh wow, I never thought about you're struggling during this time as well. And I've always thought that was the way to solve it, either peacefully or arguing, whatever it is, that you find a common place,
Yeah.
you know. And yeah, no, it was a cool night.
There's something really
Great.
powerful about just being in the same room with someone during a really heated time where you don't know what they think, and you're not really getting. We didn't get into political debates. We were just all sharing things from a human level.
I appreciate that. I think that's
Yeah,
cool.
it was really interesting because we're seeing each other. And guess what? After that, we've done several events since then with Chris and similar events, and now we're working on like an organization, whatever. But after that, one of the girls saw me on Jubilee, one of the ladies there, the one Elanit that you were sitting next to. And she was like, when I saw you on Jubilee, like the interview I did, she was like, I was, for the first time, I resonated and internalized a lot of the points that you were making for Palestine. Why?
So great, man.
have
She's like,
to.
because I like you, like I know you, I remember you, I know your soul, I appreciate you as a person. So like I was able to like realize all this crap, this effed up stuff that I never really took in before. So that just goes to show how powerful that is. But Asad was pretty tense that night at first.
Well, yeah, I'm the only one that's ever been bombed by the IDF. So if I meet an IDF soldier, I have to kind of rein that in.
Yeah.
And because, so I have to be the most open-minded of it. I mean, obviously, there's different people that are affected in different ways, but it's just there's a lot of whataboutisms, and like we say what we're saying, and then they're like, well, what about this? And then like they try to bring it back to them. So like
I don't think that was happening that night necessarily.
There's a lot of, we'll just put it this way, like it's good if the other side can be open-minded about it too.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
You have to listen. You have to listen to,
and that's the thing. That's what I was gonna say, is that a lot of them where you can see that they're physically there, but they're not there. They were not listening. They were just waiting they were hearing to respond.
Sure.
They weren't, soaking in what.
Well, I understand you have different scar tissue too, so you're viewing this in a different way. It's hard, because like a lot of times it's like.
I wouldn't say a lot of them. I would say maybe some of them. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, generally speaking, it's nice to talk about things and feel like kumbaya about it and be like, oh, this is the way and stuff. And then sometimes you get hit with reality, and then you're like, wait. So it's very give and take, right? Like, you're at a very different place. You're at a very different place. They're at a different place. We're all at different places. I feel like as long as you show up in whatever way you can, even if it's just to be a bystander, or even if you need to not show up, that's totally fine. I feel like as long as we can all accept that we're at different places and on a journey, whatever that is. Because often we always like default to the easy answer, which is like, just like show up and like everything will be fine. Like, no, it's not. You don't know my past. You don't know.
Yeah.
We all assume things. I assume things about you. Like you assume things about me. Like, oh, your life must be so easy. Or your life is da da da. Or you're just so. I think take it one day at a time, and it's not that simple. But it's nice. It's comforting to be like, oh, like maybe I did make a difference, even if it's so long term and so minute that I won't even be able to tell.
Right.
Because that's the thing with social media. You're like, oh, it's so measurable, the difference I'm making. These are how many views, and I'm sure you feel like you're like putting it out there, and it's like now it changed the world, and it might, but it's these like incremental changes, even on a personal level, where you're like, this is making me even a negative response is fine. Emotions are what we're supposed to feel to help guide us.
Right.
But it might be a step in the right direction.
That's why Eliana was there too, and you had a very interesting. You had a kind of a similar perspective as Essa. Do you want to share like how you felt about that situation? Yes, please.
Yeah, I mean, from an outside perspective, so I am not Palestinian or Arab or Muslim, so it was really interesting as an ally to kind of be a witness to a conversation that I'm not even sure I could have been a part of if I was Palestinian. And I do agree with Assad that they're typically... they tend to hear what you're saying and not really soak it in. And so they'll just come back with, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? And that can be really frustrating, especially when you're trying to have conversations that are actually impactful and not just have the conversation for performative measures. As somebody who has studied decolonial theory and anti-racism, I did witness a lot of like that white supremacist standard coming through a lot of the time, and that's what I didn't like. I didn't like that we weren't really able to talk about the white supremacy in the room. It just kept getting pushed back on. My biggest issue is around this idea of like indigeneity and how they, Zionists in particular, really want to present themselves as indigenous to the land when a majority of them are not. So that for me was, as an actual indigenous person, was kind of a deal breaker for me, where I just couldn't really handle that, like that level of whiteness showing up into the room, wanting to be centered, but not centered as the whiteness of it all, as the like idea of being indigenous. Right. So that for me was weird. Yeah.
Is there anything positive you felt happened?
I mean, I'm just in awe of Palestinians in general, being able to be so calm and composed when they're talking to Zionists. Like, I still have not met a single Palestinian, at least in my circle, that has ever been aggressive towards a Zionist or a Jewish person at that. Like, you guys are always so able to compose yourselves and, like, just be present in the moment and still show up in your humanity and still represent for your culture. I don't know. I think I don't know that I could do that, especially if, my people were going through a genocide. So I'm just consistently in awe of you guys' ability to just hold strong and represent for your culture. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the Jubilee comments.
Thank you.
Can you read some of them?
Yeah, I read all pretty much.
Oh no, never read the comments. Yo, what are you doing?
Because people would be like, if they had Jubilee in the 1700s, it would be plantation owner versus slave.
I don't know what Jubilee is. I was assuming it was a media platform.
It is. Yeah,
it's got like 9 million subscribers, and they do the most insane
middle
grounds where there is like no middle ground.
Yeah. They'll bring people from different sides of an issue
to talk about things.
Yeah, like they just did capitalists versus communists, for example. They did.
Is it like verses, or is it just like a conversation?
I think
it becomes verses.
Yeah.
Are you in the same room?
Yeah.
It was Palestine.
At the same table too. They did it.
The one I did was Palestinians.
How did it go?
Versus Israelis. It was really, really interesting. It was 5 hour. It was a 5 hour long discussion. It was only supposed to be like a couple hours, and they only posted an hour and a half of it.
Yeah, it was
so
a lot of.
It was so.
How was the editing?
Man. That's what I'm saying. They cut off so much.
This
is
what I.
That's what I'm saying. So this is why.
But not everything.
They
kept.
They cut because we can edit it our way and say our piece.
Well, we talked about this a little bit. I've just I don't appreciate people who edit things because you can have this amazing long conversation. And earlier we had a conversation about oh wow, how is this changing things? Da 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 da. You in other situations people will take what you're saying out of context. Right, it's like a paper trail. It'll follow you and everyone is waiting to if you're not gonna get canceled, it's gonna get deferred. Fuck off, dude.
Yeah.
This is not.
Yeah.
It's so.
No, thankfully I didn't feel that from Jubilee. The only thing is it has to be cut down. It was 4 hours, but the way some of the things they selected to leave in and then to cut felt a little not fair.
Yeah.
But for the most part,
did they cut word by word I hate?
Yeah, no, they didn't frame us.
America.
It was. I think the guy's Chinese.
The soundbite is very fluid. The video,
exactly,
it's stop motion.
Exactly. The one thing they did cut, which I really hope they kept in there, and then I'll say why I'm okay with being in these conversations.
Yeah.
It's basically for what you mentioned, but the one thing I really wish they kept was the guy who was an IDF soldier, and he was he kept coming back to this oh, you talk about Gaza, I know Gaza like the back of my hand. I'm interesting. Why do you know Gaza so well? And at one point he's especially because he said oh, Al-Aqsa Mosque, I'm very familiar with Aqsa Mosque, used to be there all the time as a soldier. I'm well, what are you doing there as a soldier in the mosque? He's well, our religions, they allow us we can go to other faiths' practices, no problem. I'm well, sure, you can come to our mosque, just, take your shoes off and put your gun down.
Oh, wow.
And I wish they kept that in there.
Yeah. I mean,
I wish they kept that
I was
in
there as his manager, and I couldn't even say anything. I was kind of pacing back and forth because
this guy's just mad as heck.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and they had their.
You probably scared a lot of white people. They're there's this Arab man.
No, because he's even filmed some of my videos before. We would go to a protest and people are arguing with each other, and he's behind the camera arguing with the guy. What about the 1940s?
Zionism is not anti-Semitism.
I'm bro, chill out.
Let me.
This guy wants to fight everybody.
Anyhow, but the reason I think it's cool to do these things is because I'm putting Palestine in people's faces, and it's we're here. You're gonna have to deal with us rhetorically, intellectually, spiritually. Figure it out, bucko. We ain't going nowhere.
Have you seen what Jesus looks like? He's a Palestinian
man. Yeah. He looks like me.
I mean, and as an Iraqi, I'm sure you dealt with this obviously for the past 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
kind of wild. I mean, I do feel.
What's the reaction?
People don't realize how many civilians. It was in the millions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I researched that because I wanted to see if it was real. Because I remember I saw an infographic saying 1 million Iraqis died in the war, and then since the war. So that's something, by the way, I've been really trying to do with the things I see on social media because
verify.
I have verified because I have found myself being emotionally manipulated when it's not real, and then it's harmful in arguments when you're citing information.
Yeah, it's wrong,
and people are that's wrong, and now your entire thing looks
completely delegitimized.
I've felt very emotionally manipulated, and I don't know if I'm sure not all of it was on purpose. You know, people putting out things and stats and sharing things.
Right.
And then you find yourself in a place where you're wait, if this isn't true, then what else isn't true? And now I'm trying to make a point, and my point isn't, it's not accurate. And ilmuhim.
Yeah. I know what you mean. It happened to me on Jubilee, that thing.
It's the worst, man.
It was the water argument. It was we only provide, I'm you guys shut off the water. She's we don't control the water. We only control 10% of the water. I'm I never heard that before. I'm well, you guys shut the water off. So what do you mean you don't control it? It's only 10%, only 10%. And she goes on this whole dialogue about how it's only 10%. Turns out it's 10% of potable water.
Oh, I see.
So you control the drinking water, the only water that freaking matters.
Yeah.
But she got me on the.
It's important. Like, unfortunately, a lot of us are tasked with being the face of everything, right? Like, oh, you're the one Muslim or Arab or what? Oh, okay, so like you need to be up to date with your facts. I'm like, I'm not the spokesperson, man. Like, let me live. This is something with my comedy too. I'm like, dude, let me live. I totally understand where Rami Youssef was coming from when it's like he just wants to do his art and everyone's like, nah, like, why are you talking about this? It's like, dude, let him live. Yeah. Like, he's not, just because he's the first one to like make it does not mean he's speaking for all of us. Like, relax.
Oh yeah, I know a lot of people that were like, when he did the show, people were like, well, that doesn't represent my culture.
Exactly.
It's like, well, this represents he's telling a story that
Bitch, this isn't National Geographic. Relax.
This is a situational comedy. And some of these stories are based in reality. And some
it's
of
colored
them,
in by your perspective or by the writer's perspective. It's colored in by reality, but it's not.
It's an artificial Muslim
I found it very
experience.
relatable, to be honest. Rami's show
That's
was
all guys say
relatable.
that. All the first generation guys, even if you're not in my experience, have been like Korean guys are like, man, it's so relatable. I'm like, that's awesome.
Especially as an Arab, I felt like, I'm like, what? This is like me on TV.
That's funny.
But sorry, you're
so
saying.
I know what you're into. So,
I mean, not everything.
No.
Just like being an Arab in general in America. Go ahead, but you were saying about.
I was just saying, it's just I researched. It's wild. I had so many family members die. I had an uncle get kidnapped. I've had like so many things happen. So I very much relate to the struggle because like I went through it in a different way, right? Yeah. But it's just like, it's sad. And sometimes I'm still coming to terms with my identity. Being Arab American, especially Iraqi American too. Like imagine, it's just like it's so
such an oxymoron.
It's such an oxymoron, and there's people too. Oh God,
so much so it's one of our questions.
Oh really? Yeah. Well, I've gone viral in Baghdad, and now I have all of the fobs. Like, what is this whore?
Oh my God.
She America and Iraq, the occupier. I'm like, relax, dude. Like, we came here before the shit hit the fan.
Right.
Someone commented, he's like, oh, you were obviously one of Saddam's spies. I'm like, really, bitch? Like, you think this was? They're like, we will make her a comedian in America. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Pretty smart.
We have a good place for you.
Can you imagine? That'd be actually a really smart thing. Yeah.
We will let you live in America, but you have to.
You will be a clown.
Scary.
They will not know you are Arab, and then you will come out and say my name.
But also maybe Mexican. We don't know.
Yeah,
it's just interesting because like I said, I'm coming to terms with my identity. I talk about it on stage. There was a point in my life too when I first started doing stand-up. I never intended to speak about being Arab or Muslim or anything because I thought that was a trope and I thought it was a stereotype and I was like, that's what the people want. I'm much more than my ethnic background. Yeah. So I was like trying to do like other material and I just kept falling back to my identity. Like I couldn't not talk about it. Even today, now that I have more
clout,
thank you so
followers,
much. Your
success.
words, not mine.
Yeah.
Well, now even like
eyeballs.
I'm thinking about what I'm writing too, because it's like I want to push the needle forward, but I also don't want to not pigeonhole myself. I want to create content that like I can actually speak from, because right now it's like I put a video up the other day and I ended up deleting it, where it's like I said it was a stupid joke and people were like so mad at it because I had this bit where I was making fun of my mom not recycling. And then I like had this dumb act out and people like caught on to like the act out part of it. And they're like, I cannot believe astaghfirullah. Wow, this is and all like getting mad. And I would never have deleted a video because fuck you. But because it was about my mom, I was like, I don't want my mom to see this and then like get upset or feel embarrassed. Cause like I'm not trying to hurt anyone. Yeah. But anyway, like in my comedy career, I've had to like really think about things like, okay, like, do I want to just never talk about it? Do I want to just be American? Do I want to do this? And really reckon with it on stage. And I also had to come to a point where I feel like a lot of Arab or first generation or whatever kids, we all live double lives. We live the life that, right? We are the person that our parents believe we are, and then we are the person that we are at work and with our friends and stuff. And I was totally content being a double lifer until I got to a point where I started doing stand-up, and then I wanted to present myself online, and I was like, oh, my parents are going to see this. And that's when I had to make an active decision of like, okay, well then I need to be okay with everything I put online my parents seeing. And 100%. So relate to that. Which is a risk, and it's something I'm still afraid of. Like I was talking with some people recently and I was like, I'm so upset. I'm mad at myself for deleting that video. But like I said, I only did it for just so in case my mom got
What was the problem with that? I missed the word you said.
because I didn't say it. Basically I was talking about like, oh, my mom doesn't recycle. I asked her why. She's like, Habibti, America destroyed my country. So I will not help save theirs. Yeah, I was like, that's environmental terrorism, and so, and I was like,
that's funny though. Like
that part's not what they had a problem with. Some people were like, I cannot believe just another terrorist joke. I'm like, no, you moron, it's not a terrorist.
Really nuanced, creative.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not out here like, and then in the airport, like relax.
Right.
They always check me, bro.
And so then, but the act out, which I'm gonna change because I'm not trying to. It's not worth it. But the act out was like, just know if you ever see litter on the freeway, just know. It was my Iraqi mom, just like, oh, bombs over Baghdad? Okay. How about straws over Seattle? How about that one? Like, how about cans over Colorado? And this is the part people had a problem with. I was like, she's out here flushing tampons. And then like, Allahu Akbar. And people were like, I can't believe you would have said those two words.
I see.
So I'm just going to change the joke to like, out here flushing cardboard. Like,
right.
There we go. I switched the joke because I'm not trying to offend people.
Yeah. And it's probably always anyway, right?
But
I like what you were saying about the whole like, you're Arab and then you're American, but like the more interesting thing is the Arab American. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, that's unfortunately I'm half. Like I'm fully Iraqi by blood. I'm like fully Muslim. Like I'm a practicing Muslim, but I can't deny that I'm American. Like I sound like a Valley girl. I don't mean to. Like I'm smarter than I sound.
Yeah.
I have these perspectives. I'm more open-minded than some people tend to be, which honestly is kind of a lie because whenever I go to the Middle East, I'm like, oh, wait, you guys are more open-minded than us. Like I think Arabs in America are more closed-minded because our parents are trying to hold on to our culture and religion and stuff. So when you go to Dubai, you go to Bahrain, you go to all these places, everyone's like living their best lives. Like, they're like, why do you guys care? I don't know.
Yeah, a little too much.
Yeah. Khaltu told me to care.
I mean, Lebanon, they don't care at all.
That's what I'm saying. You go to everyone's walking around in shorts in Dubai. Like it's fine. I mean, Dubai's a little different.
They just 72-year ban has been lifted in Saudi Arabia for alcohol.
It got lifted?
Well, for diplomats, I think, but it's.
Oh.
I mean, Saudi Arabia is just trying to fit in.
They're doing a lot. They're doing a lot of tourism.
They might be going a little too
I mean, it's very split. The room is very split with what he's doing over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like there's some holiness to Saudi that like if it's completely taken over by like raves and stuff, you just lose some of its. Yeah, they have like
in Mecca.
Iggy Azalea was like twerking on stage in Saudi Arabia.
What?
Oh, I swear.
Was the audience still separated?
Yeah.
Really?
No, they don't. They don't separate anymore. Nothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I heard they do in certain. I heard certain cities are more strict than others.
Okay.
One of my cousins got back from.
Have you ever done comedy separated like that?
No.
And this one's for the ladies.
That's funny. No. I think I was actually supposed to perform in Saudi years ago, but there ended up. I think there was like did they bomb Aramco or something like that? Remember there was some issue that happened at the same time, so that part of the tour got canceled. So I performed.
Jamal Khashoggi.
I don't think it was that, but I think it was I was performing in Bahrain. I was on a tour. We did Bahrain, and then we were supposed to go to Saudi after, but the Saudi part got canceled.
Yeah.
But,
so they were gonna have you perform in Saudi. This was before. Yeah. Was it before or after the ban on driving was lifted? Because it's like very progressive, but so you can come perform, but you have to take a lift.
I think it was 2018.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Got it.
Shout out 2018, man. What a good year.
Good years. But so you mentioned you're kind of worried about what your parents think about what you post, but we love how you incorporate your parents into the.
Thank you.
Your content.
My dad's TikTok famous,
Baba.
man. Baba is TikTok famous.
So
He's so funny to
I
me.
wanted to know how that kind of started and what your thoughts about that.
Yeah. So
also, like, what do they think when you quit your job at STX?
Buckle up. Yeah. Buckle up.
Section 2.
I was talking about this yesterday. Okay, so
because I can't even imagine.
My parents, I love my parents. I've actually always been like supportive and like my parents are more liberal, open-minded in terms of like the Arab scale.
Yeah.
So
which ends at like
put that on the screen.
Yeah. Like we ate cereal. It was crazy. Crazy.
But no Lucky Charms.
No Lucky Charms. R.I.P. No. So they've always been like supportive and like you do your thing. When I started doing comedy, so I moved out to LA. I always knew I was going to be in Hollywood. I always knew I wanted to be an actress, but that was the first thing when they're like, Habibti, actress is like, you can't. I remember too, I have this joke in my stand-up about how, and I
was so straightforward.
100%. They're like, that's for whores. I'm like, I had this joke.
Are honest.
No, my uncle once, this is the joke. I was like, I asked him, or he asked me, he's like, you live in America, the land of opportunity. What's your dream? I was like, to be an actress. He said, change your dream. That's a true thing that happened. He's like, no, it's not. I was like, no, it is. He's like, no, it's not. I was like, it's not? Like,
that's hilarious.
So
Saddam, call it off.
This is not.
She will not be the clown.
Yeah. Terrible incel. Sleeper cell. So I said incel. So anyway, so they've always been supportive. They knew I wanted to work in Hollywood, so they were supportive of that. I remember my dad obviously was like, you should be a doctor or something. And I was like, nah, marketing. And he's like, okay. But it didn't stop me. So it's like supportive, still advised, still have that like, parental, like matriarch, patriarch, you know, they lead the family and you listen to what happens kind of thing.
Yeah.
So when I started my first like 5 years in LA, I was working in marketing at like Disney and Paramount and STX.
Yeah.
And so then they were like on board because people knew those brands. Like my uncles were like, oh, it even works at Disney. Okay.
Nice.
But then I got miserable. I was like, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. I was working, I was attending red carpets, which was cool for like, first couple of years, you're like, oh, I'm at the Avengers premiere. This is amazing. I'm living my dream. Until I got to a point where I was like, man, I'm just the help.
You go back to the office.
Well, no, I was standing on like a red carpet and I was like, wow, like they're actually living my dream. I'm just too afraid to admit it. So I'm here in the background helping them. And like, I was doing publicity. So like I would walk stars down the red carpet and hold signs up to photographers and be like, this is blah, blah, blah. And I was like, man, I'm like a maid. What am I doing? I hate this. I was like, I'm funnier than you. Yeah. I was like, man, I'm funny.
That's funny. Like so close, it's so far away.
Yeah. So they were supportive through that. So then I finally had my mental breakdown and was like, I need to start doing something that makes me happy because I'm living a fake LA life.
Yeah.
So after doing a bunch of meditation classes, realized I wanted to do stand-up. Okay, so now I start doing stand-up. I go to like an open mic, I start taking classes. And my parents the entire time were like, okay, well, it's just a hobby, right? So it's fine. So I snuck under the radar because it was just a hobby.
Yeah.
But
that's how I did it too.
Yeah.
They were like, as long as your grades are good, you can do this.
Yeah, as long as you still
thing.
have your job, like this, go do your fun thing. But then it got to a point where like, I was like, I want to do this. And they're like, no. And they had the sibling talk, like, talk to your sister. Like, tell her not to do it.
Sibling intervention.
Sibling intervention. Yeah. So they were like supportive. They didn't say stop doing it. And like, but they kind of were like, what are you doing? Like, you're the straight A kid. Like, you got into Harvard. What are you doing?
Right.
You're just going to throw it all away. And I was like,
You got into Harvard?
I did. I got waitlisted. And so I got in. But like, did I get in? I got to the door.
Kind of.
Yeah.
They were like, if somebody leaves now, you will let you in.
Yeah. Basically.
It's like we're at capacity, but we can make it work.
I should probably reapply now that they have the whole scandal. I'm like, what's up? Diversity hire. Let's go. Like,
is it which scandal is it supporting? Like,
who knows,
whatever.
man? There's always a fucking scandal.
So your parents then did they see the success and were like down with it?
Yes. Thank you for getting me back on track. So they were like,
I want to hear this story.
What are you doing for years? Like, this is like, I could tell. And I've journaled a lot about this, but like all I would seek is my dad's validation for them to say I'm proud of you, for them to, not think I'm a total fucking failure, which is hard because you're conditioned in our culture to like make your parents happy, to do what your parents want you to do.
Right.
Because they want you to be happy. They're doing it for a reason, these pressures. Right. But so for years, like I've countless like moments of me crying and like talking to my, family and being like, I can't stop. Like I need you guys to be on board with this, like, because like you're not telling me to stop, but you're not providing me like the support that I need. I feel 100%. Like, even my first couple of years, like my first year of doing stand up, I like got flown out to London. Like I hit it off big immediately.
Wow.
Started just booking. Alhamdulillah. So I was like, I would like get booked on something and then I'd bring it to my dad and be like, see?
Yeah.
And he was like,
okay.
Yeah. And I was
never good enough. Huh?
Never good enough. Yeah. And so, like getting booked to perform in the Middle East, getting booked to go to Palestine, getting booked. It was always like, okay, kind of thing. And I was like, man, I remember having a conversation where I was crying. I was like, dude, there are strangers that I meet that come up to me and are like, wow, I'm so proud of you. This is amazing for what you're doing for our culture. And I was like, and you won't even say that you're like proud. Yeah. So that was a huge struggle of mine for a few years until I learned to stop seeking validation. I was like, I just kind of put it aside as like, I'm never going to get it. So I don't need it anymore.
And
then fast forward,
when it comes.
Then TikTok came into the picture. Now, so I will say my parents got more and more supportive. My mom got on board. She's like, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Then my dad slowly, like as it got more legitimized, I started making more money and being like, see, I can take care of myself. It's not, I'm not going to be poor.
Yeah.
I feel like that kind of helped him understand it was a real job. He would still send me LinkedIn clippings like, what if you apply to be a digital marketer? I was like, I'm not going to.
My mom literally sent me a job yesterday.
Really?
Talking about be a biomedical engineer because that's what I studied.
Oh, yeah.
And still, I'm like, listen, I always mention I studied biomedical engineering, but like
every podcast episode, he's like medical engineer.
Yeah, I just, I have the degree. I just don't want to use it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they still want they want you to fit in that box.
You know what it is? I think it's they want you to be successful. That's something I had 100%. To come to terms with. I'm like, they're not doing this because they want just like, whatever, we want you to be you. They want me to succeed. And they grew up in a world where there is, this is how you succeed. You go to college, you get the job. They don't want to, unless they have proof otherwise, they don't want you to risk it because, whatever. So as I got more legitimate, they got happier and happier. And then I got like I'm proud of you here and there. And I was like, oh shit. So that's kind of, I think we reached a breaking point when I started putting my dad in my videos. I was like, just be in it real quick. Mm-hmm. And then once he started blowing up and getting like recognized and stuff, then all of a sudden he was like, no, it's cool. I'm putting my dad's dad. And I was like, oh shit, because you weren't last year. What's up?
When are we going to do another video?
Yeah, 100%. Well, now.
Reem's over there like, you ain't really fucking with me way back then. How about now?
Yeah, exactly. No, it's crazy. But so part of it is they want you to succeed. The other part is the aib factor because you're and your family. What is the family going to think? What are people going to think?
Yeah. What am I going to tell their friends?
Yeah, exactly. So once I realized this. Once I reached a point of status in their friends' eyes, in the community's eyes, of like, oh, now she has a lot of followers, or people will tell my mom, I'm a fan of your daughter, or they get recognized because they're in my videos and stuff. Now it's almost like they have the backing of the public, and so they can rest easy and be like, okay, this is okay.
Right.
Not to, my parents are amazing, and they've always been, like I said, supportive. They were afraid for me, and then once they saw that like I could chill. And that I would come home more if they filmed videos with me. I was like, I'm only coming over if we do TikTok. He's like, Wallah, we'll do TikToks. Come home. I'm like, okay, let's go.
That's sweet. That's sweet. I think it's multi-layered, like with parents is concerned. Like part of it is just straight up like fear that you won't be stable and like concern for your well-being. And then I think you tapped into the other layer, which is like the aib/in-nas, like the opinions of people.
Yeah.
Like you could still be stable, but doing something they don't. And NAS don't approve, and then you're still not good.
The thing is also the success part. Why do they want you to be successful? Is it because they want you to be successful, or do they want to show you off?
I mean,
and that's what I've had a problem with. I've had a problem with that. Like, they're embarrassed if you do something in the entertainment business, but if you're a doctor, lawyer, engineer, wow, this is my daughter.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean? So I've had a problem navigating that as well.
I mean, unless you're filthy rich doing this, like, and then
they're
like,
when they turn around, it's like you start becoming really successful. You show them that $5 million check when you are like a big actor or actress, and they switch.
I've been thinking about this a lot because, like I said, I'm at a turning point in my career. Like, I had a year last year where I like actually started like going viral and getting an audience and things are happening. So I feel more comfortable being me. My parents feel more comfortable with like my career and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, great. But now I want to make sure that my content is authentic. Like I want to talk about things that I want to talk about and not sit here and fear backlash from like Ahmed in fucking like wherever yelling at me. I wrote this new joke, but I was like, it's so funny because like religious people have the best insults. They're like, shut up, you fat bitch whore. Ma'a salama, peace be with you. Like, shut the
Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah. So anyway, you're right. It's like, I want to create content that is authentic, that is funny, that is actually me, that's worthwhile for me to create, that also helps people and also, makes my parents proud. But like, I'm starting to feel a little suffocated. I'm starting to feel, and I think it came with taking down that video. I'm starting to feel like, oh, man.
From the community?
I don't know, man.
Who cares?
I think it is. You. Well, yeah. Like I said, I wouldn't do it unless it had to do with my mom, right? Yeah, so it's like, at the end of the day,
your mom and like a law, right?
Yeah, I'm not trying to like do anything like religiously unacceptable.
Right.
You're right. It's like my parents and God.
Yeah.
So they're like, it's just a weird game of what am I going to do? Am I going to take artistic risks or am I going to stay where it's safe because like I'm not trying to make anybody upset?
Right. Right. Interesting. So
as long as your mom's cool with it.
As long as my parents, yeah. The only person that can cancel me is my mom. That's it.
Yeah, literally.
I made you. I will take you away.
Literally.
Yeah.
Arab moms do that. They would risk it all. Go ahead.
My mom would be my dad would just like call me and be like, I don't like this video, like whatever. And then it's like my mom was like, once I was doing this video with this girl and she was like, are you flirting with her? And I was like, Mom, no, I'm not flirting with her.
Yeah.
Like, chill.
I remember.
I've got a couple calls like
Take
take
it
that
down.
video down, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
I like explain the joke. I'm like, see, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Like I had a joke about my aunt ordering doggy style at In-N-Out.
Oh,
And
I
my
saw
dad-
this morning. It's so funny.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
My dad was like, he didn't even tell me, by the way. He told my sister. He's like, tell her to take it down. And
Yeah.
she's like, no, it's fine.
Wait,
Like,
she
Can you
ordered
tell
what?
us the bit, will you?
I'm like, my people get so upset when I correct them in English. So now when they mess up in English, I just let it happen. Like the other day, my aunt tried to order doggy style at In-N-Out. She said, it's on their secret menu. I said, yes, it is. So I'm like, oh, she went.
Animal style.
Yeah. Like she went
Doggy
through
style.
the drive-through, like, yes, hello, I'd like doggy style in the car, please. Thank you. double, if you can. Yeah,
Give me 5 minutes. I'm
Yeah.
gonna take a break.
Exactly, yeah. Extra napkins, I heard it gets very messy. You know?
Yeah. Double. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Protein style. And I just keep going on
Yeah.
brands.
So
So
you,
many.
you kind of like you kind of dance a fine line of those kind of jokes, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not super sexual, but it's
I'm edgy.
edgy. Yeah.
Yeah, because
You're
I
so edgy.
Yeah.
no, but I go to the edge and then I go ooh, and I don't go over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was even talking to someone
That's
from
good.
a Dubai Comedy Festival. He's like, the problem with your comedy is I don't know if I can post it because it's not bad, but you go to the edge a lot. I was like, I know because it's fun. I like the edge. It's funny.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of women in comedy, they rely on the sexual stuff a lot too because they feel like they have to, right? And
But they go over the edge, you know. Like it's better to edge.
overcompensate, right?
Yeah.
So they like, how do you navigate that? And like the things that almost like women are supposed to do, right? And then you kind of like combat that.
Well, I think men and women talk about their sexuality, especially in the United States, like in Western cultures. I don't see a lot of that when I do comedy in the Middle East. How do I navigate that personally?
Yeah.
Well,
You don't feel the pressures of having
I don't
to
feel
do
the
that
pressures.
kind of stuff.
I never felt like, hey, as a woman in comedy, you have to do this. I never felt that ever. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have experienced it's harder to get booked on a show. If you look on a lineup, it's like, 75% guys,
Right.
one girl. You're either the token brown or the token woman.
Yeah.
You heard the Jamie Foxx story?
You're both.
No.
How he got the name Jamie Foxx was they would always let guys on stage and then like a couple girls. So he changed his name to like a name that would be
nice.
kind of girly, so that
makes
when they say
sense.
Jamie Foxx thinking it's a girl, he gets to go up.
That's funny.
Really interesting.
But yeah, so you're saying girls are on, not that many girls are on.
Yeah,
that
I'm
list.
just as a woman, I don't feel pressured to say anything, and I've more power to you. If you want to talk about that, go talk about that. If that's your like life experience and like you're a woman in your 20s and 30s in LA and you're dating and like that's what you want to talk about because that's the outlandish stuff happening in your life, right? Because people try to have sometimes it's shock value, sometimes it's something that you find relatable, and they're like, well, everyone has sex, or but I just have, to be honest, I have so much more to talk about. Like I have.
Right.
Not only like the default out of Muslim background parents stuff, but it's my life is crazy, and the stories that happen to me just are way more interesting and entertaining than like me being like, here's a dirty
Sultry
joke.
or whatever.
Yeah, but that's my personal thing. If you want to talk about it,
Right,
live your life.
It's interesting because it does bring the question of like whether you mentioned like you're either the token brown girl or the token woman, and so it's like obviously it could work against you and it could work, and it sounds like in this case could work for you. So that was one of my questions, was like being that you have multiple minority boxes that you check, like being Arab, being like a woman, being in an industry that is already non-conventional. Like I'm sure there's a lot of different ways that challenges come up, but do you notice that are there any drawbacks or any things that you don't have access to, and are there things that maybe you get more access to?
I think the last 5 years have been very DEI focused, which has been nice.
What's that?
Like diversity, equity, and inclusion. Okay. So I've been a part of like a lot of programs put on by like studios and stuff that aim to incorporate more like BIPOC performers or writers, et cetera. Like I did a program, I did the NBC late night writing program. Yeah, I did.
I was just going to ask you about that.
Oh, that was awesome. I'll tell you about it in a minute because mine happened usually when you get into that program, you get flown out to New York for a week and you get to work on like at
Colbert or something.
Yeah, it's where in Rockefeller Center.
30 Rock.
30 Rock, yeah. And you get to like be by like the SNL offices and stuff.
Yeah,
so I was stoked. And only 7 people out of like hundreds get in. So I was like,
Oh wow.
I made it. Everyone gets hired from this program. I was like, I started crying. I was like, this is it. I made it.
Yeah.
But it was during COVID. So ours was on Zoom. So literally only one person from my class got a late night gig, and it was like 3 months ago. And I did it in 2020. So I got the unlucky year, but it's fine. You stay in the network and they try to help you and stuff.
That's good.
COVID, man.
COVID ruined everything,
Everything.
man. I had a tour come. I was like, going to go to like 15 cities, do a college
I was booked for
tour.
a movie and they scrapped it.
No.
It was like, real quick, I know.
No, please.
Like January, I went to a casting right outside the Warner Brothers lot, and I saw like the water tower and everything. I was like, I'm gonna be there one day.
Yeah.
And then literally a month later, I was on the lot. I saw like all kinds of the behind the scenes type stuff for all these shows, all the wardrobe and stuff. So I was like, yeah, I really made it, that kind of stuff. Because it was like a few years into my LA tenure, right?
Yeah.
So.
Technically not tenure, a couple years. Go ahead. Sorry.
Can you leave the
The
jokes?
dad jokes.
Leave the jokes to this very talented
it.
person, right?
No, please.
Yeah, you make me funnier the more bad jokes you tell. So go ahead.
Because 10 years.
Oh no.
That's
We
what
get it.
you were going for. I didn't understand. Never mind. Were you making a 10-year joke was the wrong word, or are you saying 10-year?
10 years.
Well, he said that's what 10-year comes from, is the 10 years.
years.
Oh,
Did you know that?
no.
Isn't that interesting?
That's cool.
Yeah,
I'm
there you
going
go.
to have to
That's
do my
not-
research to make sure
that
that's
is
an
not
accurate
right.
statement.
It's not
Go on
true.
another podcast and be like, did
Is
you
it?
know?
It's not true.
It's not God.
No, because you get 10-year after being a professor at a university for 10 years. Unless I saw one of those freaking posts.
Wait, what?
where-
That's not. It's not
Propaganda.
after a certain amount
It's
of time.
spelled tenure, not.
Yeah,
maybe
T-N-U-R-E.
he's right somehow.
You gave me wrong information. This is
Yeah.
not
I
my point.
have a.
Did you know that millions of Iraqis
I have
every
an
year?
uncle. I have-
1.5 billion Iraqis. Like what? We don't have that many Iraqis.
like
That's
to
funny.
Talal's like, I don't know, maybe his credit. I have an uncle that will say the most random crazy stuff, and we're like, no, there's no way that's true, and
Yeah.
we look it up and it's 100% true.
Really?
So maybe that's what's happening.
That's wild.
Typically, teachers receive tenure when they've shown 5 to 10.
What? You are
5 to 10.
wow. What did I tell you, man?
Close.
So-
yeah, 5 years.
You
to 10
almost
years,
made
the
me
range.
misquote some shit on the next podcast I go to. Like
So-
10 years. It comes from.
She's got the
7
next
7
one.
is the average, so. Not
It's
exactly
almost.
10
Yeah,
years.
maybe.
Yeah.
Okay,
I see
we'll give you the benefit of the
Some-
doubt. That
there's
was,
some
that was
there,
true.
some
But yeah,
there, right.
long story short, booked, whatever.
Long
it
story
was
short,
for-
the coupon code is.
Valley Roots, get your merch
long
now.
story
Let's go.
short.
Sorry, we got all these things.
yeah.
No, please. So you were on the lot. You saw the
I
things.
don't want to say it anymore.
No, it's good.
Go on.
It's good.
I thought I made it, and then
Yeah.
COVID happened.
You had your made it.
Yeah.
And then I went
made
back
it.
to doing
I thought I
DoorDash.
made it, but looking back, they casted me as a Saudi diplomat. So,
Oh, dang.
so maybe that was a silver lining that I did.
Number 1 or number 2?
I don't know, man. I said no to
I
a
have to
movie
use the restroom
because of that. I was
really
like,
quick.
yeah, it was like a big movie, and they're like, we're looking for an Iraqi person. I was like, oh, yes. I was like, this is like
Was
exactly
it Kabul?
I don't know what it was. But it had
what
like
was it? Sorry.
recognizable stars in it. I was like, oh my god, yes, okay, yeah. And then I like read the script, and I was like,
Couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it. I was like, I feel like this. I don't want to do it. Have
What was the
anything that
character?
do that. I don't want to do anything that has to do with the war. I don't know if I'm allowed to say. I think I had to sign an NDA, but
I see.
it was just like it had to do with the culture and the war and stuff. And I was like, I don't want my first big role will be me profiting off of a tragedy. Like, I don't.
right.
So I just was like, no, I'm good.
It's a good,
And
good,
I had no
good
idea.
principled woman.
Yeah, and I had no idea where that role was going because it was Trey Stone, Matt Parker, the South Park creators.
Oh yeah,
Oh, I don't want to mess up their name. Is it Trey Stone?
Matt Parker and Trey Stone.
Matt Parker, Trey Stone.
Nice.
Something like that.
Trey Parker, Matt Stone. Go ahead.
Yeah, one of the so South Park.
Trey
creators,
Parker, Matt Stone. Is it
I don't know. No, I'm just throwing.
They
it.
were making their first like live action movie.
Trey Parker and Matt Stone?
Yeah.
Is it?
I don't know. What is it? I need to know.
Trey and Matt.
Eliana, can you Google it real quick?
We got.
She's our new.
We got the Googles right here.
Yeah.
How do you
Trey
feel
Parker,
about
Trey
though-
Parker, Matt Stone?
It is. So I was.
That's actually, but the movie's over. They scrapped
They
it.
scrapped it. Yeah. And back in 2020. Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
But look at you now.
yeah, I'm on this.
Man, I've had
amazing
so
ride.
many
Easy
false
house.
starts.
Look at us.
Yeah.
So it's funny because you did end up blowing up on TikTok after this movie didn't go up for you. Like this has been since COVID.
Last May, I had 18,000 followers.
Wow.
This happened. Now it's on Instagram. Now I have 139.
Hold on, doesn't
That's
Bassem Yusuf follow you too?
Yeah, I love Bassem. Yeah,
that's
we're
crazy.
friends.
So Bassem.
Yo, man, someone one of these haters in the comments was like, does your dad know that Angela White follows you? Angela White is a porn star. I was like, man, a fan is a fan. Like, a fan is a fan, bro. Get out of here.
No, my dad doesn't know. Like, why would he?
Yeah, I'm not going to be like, Baba, is it okay? Like,
She's a fan.
how do
of
you
my
know
dad.
who Angela White is, man?
She's
Well, she's just.
I'm very familiar with her work.
Yeah.
Her art, yeah.
Who? What? No.
She is white, right?
Yeah.
But Bassem
you
Youssef,
blew up.
Bassem
Bassem
Youssef
is awesome.
Is funny as hell,
Yeah.
and what he, the kind of the responsibility that he put on his back during this whole
Yeah.
thing. The
Oh,
first
yeah.
Piers Morgan interview, that was so funny.
That was
Absolute-
baller, man. That was
absolute
so baller. He's a
G.
great guy.
Yeah.
He does comedy in Arabic and English, and his English
Yeah.
comedy is great. I saw him.
He was in Irvine. That like he did like 4 shows back to back, all in Arabic.
Oh, he's been like double
Yeah.
selling out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
crazy,
yeah. He's
crazy.
a great guy.
I saw him early on too, like several years ago.
Same. I saw him at Paul's show.
Yeah,
you know,
Paul's.
Yeah.
You know Paul.
I will say Bassem too, like his whole thing was Arabic comedy, and then I saw him years ago starting to do English speaking comedy.
Yeah.
And then I saw him perform that English speaking comedy in Dubai, and I was like, oh wow, it's come so far.
Come a long way.
Yeah,
right?
it's
he talks
amazing.
about that.
And I think like again, like talking about the profiting off of a tragedy, I think he did it in a way where he put us on the maps. Like that Piers Morgan interview, I think was like a turning point, I think, in the mainstream media.
In the narrative, yeah.
Right.
Narrative.
And some people have a problem. Oh, now you're making money off of it and all this stuff. But I think he deserves it. Not number one, and number two, he's just like he did it in a way that I think he's still educating. You know, like in his shows,
Yeah, he's so
he's still
smart.
putting people on and stuff. So. I don't know. More power to him. I wish him all the success in the world.
Yeah,
but,
me too.
and he's putting other people.
That's
and,
such a
yeah.
Zionist-like trope. Like
And
that.
also, the fact that he got exiled from Egypt and now he's kind of making this comeback is awesome.
Shout out America for freedom of speech.
Kind
That's
of.
what I thought. I thought it was freedom of speech, man.
And
It's
so-
When
freedom of
convenient.
speech, not of consequence.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's
100%.
the phrase.
Also, with like depending what it is you're talking.
Well, I mean, you do like, you do social media and do you still like, do you like want a TV show in Hollywood or
Of course
something?
I do,
Do
man. What do
you
you
know,
think I'm
like,
here? Think I'm here to do podcasts? What do you think
no,
this is?
I mean,
I'm
like,
kidding.
no, like, what's
Yeah.
the,
It's
like,
gonna be named after
where do you
him.
Nicole.
see
That's
it
all we do.
going?
It's like Rami, Mo. and
Mine will
then
be
Reem.
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 No. I would love my own TV show. I mean, I've always wanted to act. I don't necessarily like this traditional acting path, this rat race.
Audition and
Yeah, this cattle call of like, go, and it's you
100%.
and 600 other people who look kind of like you.
Right.
That part is, I don't want to do the traditional acting route,
No.
but I like acting,
Yeah.
especially if I write it. And
Yeah.
I found that that's something hard with me with auditions is I'm like I can't connect to these characters because I'm like, not funny.
It's like bad writing.
Yeah, so
write your own.
Exactly.
Do the Rami route.
Yeah. I've written some stuff. Yeah, so my goal, like my big dream is SNL, and I do a lot of like characters and voices and stuff. And that
Inshallah.
was inshallah. Yeah, that was like 10-year-old fat Reem's dream was like, I want to be like. So that, and I want to have like my own movies and TV shows and just write like hard, funny, comedies that aren't like, this is like women doing the diverse thing.
Yeah.
Like, no, I
Yeah.
want it to be just funny. Like,
Right.
Michael's here.
oh, okay.
What kind of like, do you like Judd Apatow? Like what kind of,
My favorite movies are like Superbad, The Hangover. Like
I
like
just said exactly.
Yeah. Stoner
Todd
comedies.
Phillips,
Yeah.
okay.
Nice.
So yeah, Todd
nice.
Phillips.
Pineapple Express.
I want to write like that's what I want to write. Like I want to write hard, funny things. And I've written some stuff. I've like pitched some stuff to different studios, and now I'm writing a new thing. So
Movies?
Inshallah.
movies and I
Movies and
actually
TV.
haven't written a movie yet, but I feel like I should. I
no,
keep
I
talking
think you
about
should
it.
because
Yeah.
I've written 2 pilots,
Nice.
and like I'm also like maybe I should have a movie too. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Well, I've just talked about it for so long that I'm like, why am I not doing it?
Yeah, and I feel like movies are like, I mean, the TV show like you obviously have to present for seasons and all of that, but like the movie, it can get made. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
Like whether it's $2 million budget or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
and then you're like, oh, I have this movie, and there's that
100%.
route too. But
And I think
you being
now-
a writer is
Well,
great.
now that I've like started figuring out my voice and stuff, I'm like, all right, now I feel
I
because
can't
I
wait
have.
to watch this movie.
Man, it's gonna be so good. Whatever it is.
We got to
But
link her
now-
up with Samir.
Yeah, you know Sam Imam?
I don't think so.
Oh, he's a producer.
Michael Schertzer.
Hi.
Yo,
Man.
what's up, man? But yeah,
I'm gonna come hug you.
Know each other, right? Right. We have 2 amazing comedians in the same.
La, 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 la. I'm sure you'll also be a first something.
Yeah. Our first. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
we'll get
Stay tuned.
But yeah, I want to
This is
create
our first
stuff.
episode ever.
Number one.
No, but we're glad that you guys are here. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't even know what I was.
Oh, you're just talking about your
we're
movie
talking about
career.
movies and stuff.
I want to create stuff now that I got my voice.
Get a little closer.
Now that I've figured out my voice a little bit. Now that I figured out.
Okay, wait, it's close.
The camera angle.
My mom is watching.
That's funny. Well, she came to me.
I didn't say.
Is this better? Are we close enough?
Yeah, okay. Great.
Now that I've like figured out my voice, now that I feel more confident that I have an audience, it gives you this sense of like, okay, and now that my parents are on board, now I feel like I've given myself permission to create more because like at first you're going uphill. You're trying to prove to everybody that you're not a hack. You're trying to prove to all your old coworkers that like you're not a failure, that like you left for a reason. You're trying to prove to your parents. You're trying to prove to the world. You're trying to prove to society. You're trying to prove to the hater. Like you're just sitting here like trying to prove yourself. And now and this all happened like in the last year. I'm like at a place where I'm like, okay, I finally feel like I don't want to prove myself anymore. Now I can just like be and fulfill my dreams and like and believe that I deserve.
Yeah.
And
you
I'm
gotta
like
get over that
worthy of
imposter
achieving
syndrome
that.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, be like, I'm not an imposter.
Exactly.
I'm better than that guy on the red carpet.
Exactly. I'm number one.
And that's when the work starts, right? When
Yeah.
you really settle into your role, into your like comfort,
Yeah.
into your strength, and then it's just fun from there on out.
Yeah. I will say, this isn't to plug, but like The Artist's Way, the book.
Plug away, girl.
You guys should read it, man. That's helped
I
me.
haven't even done my coupon code
Damn
yet.
it.
And you're plugging?
Well, the Artist Way, the link is in the bio. We get 7 cents per everyone buying it.
Yeah, no. Let me
Commission.
link you my Amazon Prime link.
Tell them about the phone. Tell them about the phone case.
Yeah, for
TikTok
$2,
shop?
guys, go to my TikTok shop. You can get this phone cover. $2, man.
$2.
That's a really cool phone
And
cover.
50
Yo,
cents?
$2.
50
That's
cents goes
crazy.
right in my pocket.
22.
That's such a small price to pay.
Right?
Cool.
Get her freaking phone cover. That's a
thank you.
dope phone cover. But wait, what's the Artist Way?
The Artist Way, it's like a workbook. It's like a 12-step program. It really feels like AA, but it's for artists, whether you're writers, actors, poets, sculptors.
Okay.
And it helps you break free of these like mental blocks that you have and not even usually aware that you have by asking you, like you read about it, it asks you questions that you have to like write about it and think about things outside of like, well, why do you think you're an artist like this? Like it asks you about your childhood. It's like, what did you love to do? Things like that.
Yeah.
So you start to reconnect with your artist and then believe that like being an artist is okay. And then it also has this practice called morning pages where like you wake up and the first thing you do is just write freehand stream of consciousness 3 pages on a piece of paper and just brain dump everything.
Oh, wow.
And if you do this every
That's
day,
really good to do.
dude, I'm telling you, I've become such a better writer and I'm writing more comedy and I'm even making more videos because I've started doing this. And I'm not even all the way through the book, but it's been a huge component in my career as an artist. And if you like read who else uses it, it's like everyone. Like Scorsese is one of the people. Everyone has used this program.
Write this on my books to read.
I'll send you the influencer link for Amazon Prime.
The affiliate link.
Affiliate link, yeah.
Actually send it though.
That's fine.
No, that exercise is really powerful. Like writing down just stream of consciousness.
Stream of consciousness. Don't judge yourself. Don't be like, this is the jokes I'm gonna write. No, like stream of consciousness and don't judge yourself. Don't criticize. Like what am I usually start out with like writing like what I have to do that day and then I go random. I've even like written, I'm like, I have to poop. Like I've literally written it down. And
just don't judge it, just write it.
Don't judge it. Yeah.
There's another book that recommended that exercise that I came across, but then there's a third book called The Art of War. I mean,
The War of Art.
Yeah,
it's a good one. Yeah,
so
yeah.
obviously
Like
the play
Sun Tzu,
on
right?
Sun Tzu.
Yeah.
And it
like,
says,
trust your enemy.
know your enemy.
Yeah, they're both fire. Yeah,
But no, that one's a good one too. It's like really about like just like put your boots, your hat on, your boots, and go to work type of approach to like artistry. Like just show up every day.
That is 80% of it right there. 80% is showing.
Write that movie, man. I'm gonna go write that movie right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, do it.
Go downstairs. It's
Tomorrow's
that coffee shop.
stream of consciousness is going to be the movie.
it's gonna be called Reem of Consciousness.
Oh, shit!
I had a Reem.
There it is.
Hey,
I was
had
looking
a
for
read.
one and I found it.
You did it.
I did it. And then on that note,
Let's promo.
Oh yeah.
All right, so again, Habibi House and Pali Roots are on a collaboration. Finally, we've been working with them. Shout out to Hussein and Amina. They have an Eliana collaboration coming out. She's doing her thing. She's a really good singer, and she's about to go on tour. She's about to drop an album. So use our coupon code Habibi House to get 15% off lifetime. So,
Oh,
It's a
dope.
big discount.
yeah.
So it's a Habibi
Lifetime?
House.
That's cool.
Lifetime.
I think so. Yeah. Any purchase.
Yeah,
after
any
that.
purchase using that coupon code Habibi House will get you 15% off. And usually, like if you're only getting 10% off in like their newsletter, so this is like an extra 5% off.
Oh,
You
I
use
got
our
the
code.
hookup.
Extra sauce.
Shout out
So,
to
so this drops in February. Be on the lookout for that.
So Pali Roots is go ahead.
Also, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment on this video.
Nice.
And can you tell the people like what do you got coming up? Like,
wait, real quick before she does,
nothing?
I just want to say about Pally Roots.
Oh yeah,
because I'm probably one of their first customers. I definitely am one of the first people.
I am the first.
Okay, Soulja Boy.
I have spent the most money of all the people.
I'm the first rapper. I'm the first Arab rapper to wear Pally Roots in a music video.
Oh, hell yeah. That's awesome.
Because what you were saying earlier, like representing ourselves and like bringing out the little symbols, I think we're talking about that in the context of fashion when it first came up. But then also just putting ourselves in front of other people and like, our culture out. This to me has always been dope, and Pally Roots was like the first company to do that, to start making cool, like, look at this. It's a bandana.
I love that.
Like I wear this like this.
That's sick.
I'll tuck it in my pants like a G. Like
man, not in certain neighborhoods.
I've had this for years.
Yo, what set you playing, bro?
Hey, are you
yeah, it's Palestine, motherfucker.
Fairfax over here.
This bitch. What? Right. And then this I've had for years too. It's like their necklace. It's like super long, so I can't. When you wear it, it's super gangster. But then I just wrap it around my hand.
That's sick.
This kufiya is Pally Roots, straight from Palestine.
I love them. They're great.
Yeah, and then they gave us these as gifts, which is really nice of them. Can you show them that white?
This is
It's their new collection.
Cool.
So I'm an OG, but this is the new stuff.
It looks warm.
It is
Isn't
warm.
it? Yeah.
This looks warm.
This one's for you, Altaf. You want the black or white? You get black.
You want it?
You get a jacket. You get a jacket.
And we'll get you something too.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
And you, Mike.
He's like, where's my
All right,
jacket?
cool. Should we? Back to what we were saying. Are you performing in LA anytime soon?
Yeah, I have a show. When are you releasing this podcast?
In the next 2, yeah.
Okay.
Well, 2 weeks from Sunday.
Depends on when your
So
show
like
is.
mid-February?
Sorry. So we just released one this past Sunday. So not this Sunday, the next one. So a week and a half, like week and 3 days.
Early Feb, mid-Feb. Yeah.
Early Feb, mid-Feb. Okay. I'm going to be on the road in February, but I'll be in like Arkansas, I think. I'm going to go to like Hawaii. I'm going to like a bunch of places, but I'll be back in LA. I'm all over town. I put all my shows on reemedan.com/comedian or in my link in bio. But yeah, come see me live.
We've been trying to set that up, right? For a long time. You're going to be at the Laugh Factory and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm going to be at the Improv in a few days. I have a bunch of local shows in LA in January and like early Feb. I'm going to be in SF for the New York Arab Comedy Fest on the 10th of February at the Palace of Fine Arts.
When are you gonna be at the what did you say?
So Comedy Store is this Sunday, Comedy Store La Jolla, and then the Improv is going to be next week. And
because we can like clip this and like
Comedy Store La Jolla would be great Sunday. I'll be there with Mike Ishak, Mike from Detroit.
I know.
He's hilarious. Yeah, he's a Yemeni comedian.
Yeah, he's funny. Have you ever seen the MTV Cribs thing?
I love that thing, man. When I first saw it came out years ago, right? I was like obsessed with it.
MTV Cribs.
Yeah.
And then I met him. He was like, "Yeah, I wrote that." I was like,
"Yeah,
oh dude,
he told me." I was
funny.
like, "Man, you were part of my childhood."
Yeah, literally.
It was that and like the Lahma song that were like my first forays. Whether it's there or here. The Lahma song. It was like
Wasn't
a YouTube
that by
video.
Go Remy?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe
I don't know.
It is.
But she's saying that was
maybe
what
he
made
wrote
her
that.
Those were my first time,
okay.
as a kid, hearing like Arab comedy. It was the Lahma song and the MTV Cribs.
Hey there, Khalaila.
That's for sure. Go Remy.
I used to not
YouTube
love
shit,
that comedy like initially
What's
because
it
I was
like in Baghdad City?
It's funny.
yeah, that one was funny. That one you can't deny.
No, man, the Lahma song. I still
The
sing
Lahma
it.
song is a classic.
I know all the words.
And he goes, "You're
I know,
so
me
pretty." He
too.
goes, "You're so pretty." And he
Should we
holds up
end
a-
the episode with saying the whole
For the
song?
Lahma, I drive an hour
Even
because Lahma gives me power. Chilling, eating shish
kebab.
kebab. I even eat it with
That's
my
my
mom.
job.
Oh, fuck. Oh, damn it. That's my job, is right. Yeah.
Alternate lyrics here.
I'm doing the Iraqi version with my mom.
right.
That's funny. But yeah, I'm going to organize a tour this year. So later at some point, maybe in like April or May, I'm going to try doing like 5 or 10 cities in America and just running my hour. So I'll post about that. Yeah. I don't know why I haven't done it yet.
Have you been to Dearborn or Detroit area?
I've done some shows in Dearborn. Yeah.
They like your comedy?
Everybody liked my comedy. Yeah.
Big community out
I can't tell if I do better in front of Arab crowds or white crowds. Because I do different.
That's a good
do different jokes. With the Arab crowds, I'm more like, how relatable, right?
Yeah.
But then with Americans, I can be like
Stereotypical?
Not stereotypical, but just I think it's more shock value. We're saying some people talk about sex because that's shock value, but for me, my shock value is my everyday with like, being who I am. So to them, they're like, wow, what a unique perspective.
Cat Williams, I think,
yeah.
mentioned that on a podcast. He was saying that like he
Fuck
did.
Cat Williams, man.
What?
No.
Yeah. Didn't you hear what he said about Gaza? He's like, Mike heard it. He was like, "Oh yeah, if you were to cross me, I would keep. There wouldn't be a single survivor after I'm done with that place."
That's a really good impression.
Yeah, he's pretty.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't.
I'm
hear
gonna
that part.
try my part in comedy too.
Yeah. I didn't hear what he had to say about that, so maybe I won't put him on. But basically, he had the sentiment that like, he did way better in front of white crowds instead of black crowds.
Well, it's interesting. It makes you think too. You're like, is this because I'm the token? Like, that's why I had to try to.
Maybe it's like you're judged by your own people more. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I do find that a lot too. That's like I was saying. Now I'm trying to think about what content I'm putting out because like I'm over this judgment. Like I don't be supportive, man. Like be supportive, like how Latino comics support each other. Like there's other communities that make it easier to be an artist, and like. Just because you have jokes about things does not mean that you are insulting things, you know? Like, we need to relax because otherwise you're going to keep artists siloed and then it's not going to push us forward. Like, let's push forward as a group. Yeah. That's, I think, what's most important.
Super important.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
anyway.
This has been awesome.
This was so much fun.
Yeah.
It's Edan, right?
Edan, yeah.
Reem
I guess in
Edan.
Arabic it's
Edan.
Edan.
What's Edan mean?
Two sticks.
Two sticks. Yeah, I used to be like 2 Eids, and my dad's like, no, it's 2 sticks. Yeah.
2 chains and 2 sticks.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Reem Edan.
Definitely got to have you come back soon.
I would love to. Yeah, let me know. I live like 13 minutes away, so I'm down.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay, sick.
Marina's all right.
Oh, okay.
I told you I sound dumb.
Valley girl.
Yeah, SNL baby, let's go. I'm ready. I'm trying to manifest.
Man, y'all tripping. Get her on there.
Let's go.
Hey, next time we have you, you're gonna be on SNL.
Inshallah.
Done with your tour too.
Yeah, I gotta set that up. So I'm gonna do that after this. I'm gonna write a movie and set up a tour.
Let's get it.
All right, you heard it here first,
Yeah.
guys.
There it is. You heard it at Habibi. Thank you guys for having me.
You guys never clap when I
love
clap.
you.
I have to.
Thank you.
Coupon code Habibi. What is it? Habibi House.
Habibi House.
Get this case.
Also, by the way, we have merch too.
Okay, question
yeah,
though.
we do have
Question:
merch.
how do you go to the bathroom in your shirt?
In
Because
your
it says
shirt?
Alhamdulillah. You can't take Allah in the bathroom.
Hey,
You didn't think about that?
That's a good point.
Yo,
No.
you're going to hell.
He's been going to the
you just
bathroom
gotta
in
take
that
your shirt off
for
or
like-
cover it. I guess.
This is what I'll do.
There it is. Yeah. Oh wow, you got more merch. You're like halfway Armenian at this point, man. You got it all. Are we done recording?
Yeah, you're done. All right.
I have a
Thank you
joke
guys.
for you. Thank you.
Make sure to like,
we can
follow,
stop it.
subscribe, comment, follow her, come to the shows. Habibi House, baby.